So now we will move on to exercise 1C, and this is all about the quadratic formula. So in the first part, we want to solve some quadratic equations using the quadratic formula, and it wants our answers to 2 decimal places. The first one is x squared minus 10x minus 3 equals 0. Now we use our quadratic formula. X equals minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So then we substitute in minus b is minus minus 10, which is 10. 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 3 divided by 2 times 1. Now then I recommend you just simplify that discriminant. Which is 112. And then you can just give your answers. So one of them will be using the positive root. That gives us 10.29, and then if we do the minus 0.29, and these are both to 2dp as is required in the question. And then the next one is x squared plus 6x plus 4 equals 0. X is equal to minus b plus, I think I'll just skip straight to the substitution. And we divide it by 2 times 1. So those are our 2 answers, and again we're doing it to 2 decimal places. Now we have this one, x be equal to minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 1 times minus 5, 2 times 1. It's minus 3 plus or minus, that's 9 plus 20, which is 29 over 2. .19, or x equals minus 4.19. And then the next ones are more just the same. And the good thing about the quadratic formula is we don't have to do anything special if the lead coefficient isn't 1, because we just, wherever a is, we put in that. It should be a minus, sorry. So that means x will either equal negative 5 plus root 73 over 4, or minus. and we do the quadratic formula. Perhaps I should remind you of what the quadratic formula is. Again, x is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And of course, if this is 0, then plus or minus it will be the same thing, so you'll only get one answer. If this is positive, then you'll get two answers, because you can have a positive or a negative root. And if this is negative, then you won't have any real solutions, because then you'd get into complex numbers. If you're interested in seeing why the quadratic formula works, look at my video on proving it. And obviously it may ask us to leave it in surd form as well, but in this case it wants it to 2dp. So this is the last one for this section, and we just do the same thing as before. Right, and so hopefully you can already see how you use the quadratic formula. Now on to question 2. We're looking at rectangle, and it's got a length of x and then another length of 3x minus 2, and the area is 63 centimeters squared. And we need to find the value of x, correct to 3 significant figures. So we know that x multiplied by 3x minus 2, this is base times height, equals 63. And if we expand this, 3x squared minus 2x, and then we take away the 63 from the right hand side, we get 0. Now we will do our quadratic formula, and we'll do 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 63 over 2 times 3. This is 2 plus or minus the root of 4 minus 12 times minus 63, so we're adding stuff to get to 760, and we're dividing it by 6. Now, if you were to just pretend this was a normal quadratic equation, one of your answers would be 4.93 to 3SF, and the other would be negative 4.26. But remember, we're solving for a side length, so we only take the positive. So the answer is 4.93. Now we have another rectangle question, and we got not a square. Let's say we got x, 2x minus 4, this is A. Then for B we have x plus 1, 5 minus x. And they have the same area. So this means that x multiplied by 2x minus 4 will equal x plus 1 minus x plus 5. So now I'll expand this and I'll expand it up here. 2x squared minus 4x, and then this is equal to minus x squared plus 5x minus x, so that's plus 4x, and then you add 5. This makes it 3x squared minus 8x minus 5 equals 0. Now you do the quadratic formula. What am I doing? Minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times 3 times minus 5. And as we did before, we would just only take the positive. If you want to note that you take positive, you can. So you get 3.19. Now we've got another sort of fraction question, like we did in a previous video. And we have to give the solutions to 3 significant figures. As we know, you make the denominators common. Like this. And now, because the denominators are all the same, you can just look at the numerators. And I'll expand this. And then I'll move everything to the right hand side. That's x squared minus 9x minus 2 equals 0. Apply the quadratic formula. So one of our solutions will be 9.22 and the other will be 0.217 because we're doing it to 3SF. Right, okay. Now in question 5, it wants us to solve the quadratic equation ax squared minus bx plus c equals 0, giving answers in terms of a, b and c. And I don't think it wants us to complete the square here because it's about the quadratic formula in this set of questions. So we're just going to go straight to the quadratic formula and say x equals minus b, which is positive b in this case, plus or minus b squared minus 4ac and divide it by 2a. But then the second part of the question is asking how it relates to the solutions of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And in this case we'll do x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And what's the difference between these two? So if you subtracted one from the other, you got the same denominator, so you can get rid of these, will eliminate, and then you're left with 2b over 2a, which is just b over a. So this means when you go from this to this, solutions increase by b over a. And so that is it for exercise 1c about the quadratic formula. As you can tell, it's not that hard. You just need to try and not make a dumb mistake with calculating numbers and stuff. Here is where you definitely want to use your calculator. But I will see you in the next video for exercise 1d.